of our democracy called the legislature, which is the fulcrum of our democracy. He is charismatic, bold, engaging, and a deep-rooted parliamentarian.
I'm here today not just as a representative of the people of Gombe, but as a representative of all Nigeria.
Meet the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, every Monday as he interacts with his constituents on Kalu'S Mandate here on Flow 94.9 FM.
Honestly, I love my people. Nothing can stop that love. And I started this love before I became an office holder in government. My foundation, Benjamin Kalu Foundation, started working for people since 2003. And we have not failed to work for the people year in, year out.
Kalu'S Mandate, every Monday by 11 a.m. on Flow 94.9 FM.
Hi, Benjamin.
Good morning to you, and thank you for leaving your dial on the flow of God's own state, and welcome to another edition of Kalu'S Mandate. I am Wisdom Thomas. I'm sure you understand the phases of the program. The first time of asking, we're going to be speaking to the Chief Press Secretary, to the Deputy Speaker, where he will give us a lowdown of a couple of activities involving the Deputy Speaker. From there, we delve into the matter on ground, and from there, the third phase, which is the feedback phase, where we open the phone lines and have you join the conversation. Let's get started quickly. From the Northwest, with 7 states, to the North Central, Northeast, South, and Southwest, with 6 states each. The Southeastern region has looked off color in terms of its constituent number of states, trailing the immediate 4 by 1 state and the former by 2. This disparity has always raised concern across the Southeast, with questions regarding equity, fairness, and justice, asked deliberately or inadvertently in the dark and in the open. But is that situation about to change? Because at the Joint Committee in Constitution Review of the Senate, led by Deputy Senate President Senator Jibrin Barau, and the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, PhD, CFR, has approved the creation of an additional state for the Southeast after a 2-day retreat. What does this mean for the Southeast? If it's signed into law, how much of an impact would it have on the region in Nigeria? Let's get started quickly, because we have joining us virtually now the Chief Press Secretary to the Deputy Speaker, Livinus Mwabuyogo. Good morning to you, Livinus. It's a pleasure to have you one more time on the program this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Wisdom. Good morning, Abians. And good morning, Nigeria. So another beautiful Monday morning. Thanks for having me here.
Let's hit the ground running, Livinus, beginning with that question, the issue of the creation of an extra state for the Southeast, which is the approval from the joint retreat of the Senate and House of Representatives Committee on the Review of Constitution, which, of course, that of the House of Representatives is being chaired by your principal, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu. What's the high point of that retreat, if I may ask?
Yeah, thanks once again. Good morning. Let me begin by saying that actually it wasn't a unilateral decision of the House of Reps Committee and Constitutional Review, chaired by my boss, the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, PhD, CFR. It was a joint, just like you read earlier, a joint committee of the Senate and that of the House of Representatives. I think this is about the first time this is happening. But before I proceed any further, let me actually express our heartfelt gratitude to all the members of that committee, to the distinguished senators and honorable members of the House who really thought it wise, who considered that subject matter and expressly approved it. I would say it's unprecedented. I would say that they actually spoke to reason. They saw that was very necessary and very important and coming at this time, because there have been talks, there have been pleas, there have been appeals and advocacies anyway, to that effect that the Southeast deserves and desires an extra state at least to come at par with others. I would want to believe that, sorry, this is not something I should actually guess, but be that as it may, I think this Northwest has 7 states making up the Northwest geopolitical zones. As you may well know, the country is arranged in that geopolitical order. So in that geopolitical sense, you have 6 geopolitical zones. So the Southeast having 5, others having 6, and I think the South and Northwest having 7. That is that disparity. And it's not just about political, to sound politically correct. No, I think it's about equity. I think it's about justice. I think it is about fairness. And on this tripod, on these 3, platforms, stands this advocacy over the years, over the time. And we are happy that it is also happening at this time, during the time of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has from time to time been remembering this Southeastern geopolitical zone, giving us, would I say, what is due to us, helping us, situate federal government presence in the Southeast. This is not the first. There are some other things through the instrumentality of the legislature he has also given to us in the Southeast. I'm talking about the universities recently approved in Bend, the University of Medical Sciences, that is not there. I'm talking about the Federal College of Education in Bend, that was hitherto not there. I'm talking about, again, the Police Dictative College, that was recently signed into law. I'm talking about the Southeast Development Commission. Of course, you may say it has gone wrong now, but then, at the time, the Deputy Speaker was at the forefront. It wasn't there, and I can tell you that it was something the Southeasterners actually desired, and it came in his time. We are grateful. So we are grateful to these distinguished lawmakers who gathered in Lagos. Like I said earlier, it was a joint retreat. They were in Lagos for 2 days to discuss various subject matters. There are about, if my memory serves me right, over 60 subject matters tied to the thematic areas, they were to consider. All along, close to 2 years, I'm sure you'll be following again the trends of the event. For over close to 2 years since I commenced this activity, the House of Representatives Committee on Constitutional Review, chaired by the Deputy Speaker, has been meeting various retreats, various activities to streamline and to dispassionately look at those issues Nigerians yearn for. You may also recall there was a time they called for memoranda. Memoranda came, they needed to evaluate, they needed to synthesize, they needed to gauge the views and the opinions of Nigerians. And there was also a time when they had public hearing across, the geopolitical zones, and some states too. And so it enabled people to make inputs, to tell you what they wanted, because it is very critical that we have the we element in Nigerian constitution. This one we operate in is a judge to be given to us by the military, even though it has been so very many times, tweaked, touched to reflect the aspirations and the yearnings of the people. I think this is about, this one now that is ongoing is about the very first time you're having such a robust, such a comprehensive, outlook of it. And so trying to give it the we element so that the people can women input. So far, they have gotten all the inputs of the people, and the committee retired in Lagos to say no. If the Senate can be working on their own, because of course, we run a bicameral legislature where you have the Senate and the House of Reps. So if the Senate has been doing theirs and the House of Reps has been doing theirs, there should come a time when all of them should meet to really look at, because if a bill passes there, it must pass there for it to become a law to be given to the president for his assent. And so they can be working parallelly, and this will working parallelly. So in their wisdom, the chairman, the chairman of a Senate committee on the constitutional review, I'm talking about the deputy Senate president, Senator Jubril Barawa, and then Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu in House of Representatives came together in their wisdom to say, let's go to Lagos, do a retreat, and let members make input, and let's harmonize this we have been doing over time so that we can be at par, so that it will be a seamless exercise when we take it back to the floor of the House for the generality of the members to done, so that it doesn't appear as if we're doing a job that is haphazard. We do, these people do, and we'll have issues on the floor of the House during voting. So what we're going to do is to bring it, to the people so that they will look at it, and then we'll take it back for them to, so that it's going to be a seamless activity, a seamless journey. So that was really what transpired in Lagos. So they discussed about 60 subject matters of interest, earmarked for discussion. And when it got to propose state creation, I can tell you, Mr. Wisdom, that we have in the compendium 55 proposals, 55 requests for state creation, and while you're having about 278 proposals as well, requests for local government creation. So they made there to look at those issues. When it was time for that, because that's about the last thing in that compendium, the deputy speaker spoke and appealed passionately to his colleagues, to distinguished members of the Senate, that is the senators, and the honorable members of the House, to look at the issues, anchoring it on, like I said earlier, fairness, justice, and equity. If we are asking for 55 states to be created, because, like I said, that is the number of the requests on the ground. So if we are requesting, will it not be good that we give a chance to the Southeast that has long been yearning for an opportunity like this to at least come up with a state? Some overdue, of course, that the process of state creation is very cumbersome. It's not one straight-jacketed affair. It has to touch so many, areas. And I tell you, most people that spoke out of their heart. And they were very, 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 they gave their support, overwhelming support. They were in tune. They aligned their thoughts with what the deputy speaker said. The floor was open, and so many persons, gave their input. It was an open conversation. And they said, indeed, the Southeast desired and needed to be given that opportunity. And I tell you, at the end of the day, in Northerner, I would say, because somebody would say, why was it not a Southeasterner or somebody from there to give that motion? But to tell you how passionate they feel about the issue, a Northerner was given an opportunity to move the motion. I'm talking about distinguished Senator Abdul Ningi, representing Bauchi Central. He moved that motion. You needed to hear him move that motion. He was so elated, so happy that eventually this is coming to pass. And he moved. And I can tell you why we thought as well that...
Are you still there? Leaving us?
Sorry, I don't know. You lost me. A call came into my phone.
Yeah,
so, but
just simply wrap up now.
If you can hear me.
Simply wrap up
now. So let me just wrap up. Let me wrap up my thought. Thank you. So a Southwesterner again, in the name of Honorable Ibrahim Isiaka, seconded the motion. And while he was seconding the motion, you could hear his voice. He was happily doing that. And when the vote was, put, when the issue was put to question to vote, it was unanimously agreed, overwhelming support, for that, and giving the Southeast an opportunity to at least produce a state. But let me also tell our audience, because this has to be emphasized, that it has not been created yet. It has to go through a process. This is a constitutional amendment process. It's just a stage in the process.
Okay.
It has other processes to go, so that people wouldn't run to say that the joint committee has produced. The joint committee has unanimously, given that opportunity. Mm-hmm. They have accepted that this be done. So it will be ratified and be taken to the floor of both chambers of the National Assembly for voting. And after which it will still go to the Houses of Assembly. Of course, it requires a certain percentage, I think 2/3, of the 36 states to be passed before it is now taken to the president for his assent before it becomes. So ours is to continue to appeal, is to continue to advocate, is to continue to lobby, is to continue to tell our other parts of the country too. And there was also a committee, and let me not forget, this was also set up to look into the proposals for local government creation and some other states creation, because the committee, the chairman, co-chairman, the deputy speaker, and the deputy senate president announced members of those committees which they will work. I think this is about the second to the last outing before the voting that is tentatively scheduled to hold, I think, in November. Okay. I wouldn't know exactly the time, but in November. Because they will be meeting again in about 3 weeks' time to harmonize what was decided in Lagos, in Abuja here. That retreat will hold in Abuja here, and they will organize before they go for voting. So that is the process. And can I tell you, are we happy people from the Southeast? Yes. And let me also applaud and congratulate the speaker, who made that effort, my boss, who made that effort. Nigerians, Igbos, they are continuing to see every day a leader in a deputy speaker who does Igbo people proud and Nigerians proud. Okay. You needed to hear what people say on the sideline of that thank God we have this man who appealed to, because it has to be, give and take thing. He appealed to the consciences, he appealed to the members and to distinguished senators who graciously did that. There was no dissension. Okay. You can imagine that there was no dissension. Everybody agreed that this will happen. So we are grateful to the members, to the distinguished senators. We are grateful to honorable members. We are grateful to Nigerians, and we are grateful to the committee of both chambers that came together to say this must be realized. This is very important, and we are very optimistic, just like we were during the passage of the bill for the creation of Southeast Development Commission and some others. We were very optimistic, and God graciously gave us that the president signed. So we are also very optimistic that this time around, this will be a reality, and the Southeast will have an extra state to come at least at par with others.
Let me sincerely appreciate you at this point, Livinus Mwabuyogu, the Chief Press Secretary to the Deputy Speaker, for speaking to us on Ben Kalu'S Mandate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. I didn't realize the time is fast spent, actually. Please give me an hour to talk. I've got so many things to talk about.
Thank you very much for the one you've done already, Livinus. That's the first phase of Ben Kalu'S Mandate. In the second phase, we're going to be speaking to a former minority leader of the Abia State House of Assembly and who's a board member at the Northwest Development Commission, Honorable Chijioke. But that will be after this break.
Igbo need to talk, because the barriers of the gun do not talk. Neither does the military engage in negotiations. Peace in the Southeast Project, PISP, is set to bridge those gaps to get Igbo to talk and be talked to, all in the spirit of renewed hope. There is a need to get their hope renewed so that tomorrow will be better for them in terms of infrastructure, security, opportunities in employment, education, and lots more. Support this initiative for a peaceful Southeast. It's a gain for the nation. Peace in the Southeast. Our collective project.
Well, in case you are tuning in, it is Ben Kalu'S Mandate on the flow of God's own state. We are now into the next round of our conversation. And like I said, joining us virtually at this point is Honorable Chijioke Chukwu. He's a board member, Northwest Development Commission, and a former minority leader, Abia State House of Assembly. Thank you for joining us on Ben Kalu'S Mandate this morning, Honorable Chukwu.
Thank you, Wisdom, and good to be with your station again.
All right.
I want to thank Abians too for
Great.
their patience and the continuous support of the All Progressive Congress.
Great. Let's get started. Before we got to this point, I've been speaking with the Chief Press Secretary to the Deputy Speaker, and all of that was simply because of the approval by the Joint Committee, both in the Senate and that of the House of Representatives, over the creation of an extra state for the Southeast. And I mean, it's well documented that your principal, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, CFR, is the chairman of the House Committee on Constitution Review. Let me get your feeling in terms of this development. How do you feel at this particular point to hear that apparently there is a glimmer of hope that what most Southeasterners have been up in arms about, disparity in terms of the states across the geopolitical zones, is looking like something that can be a reality?
Thank you, Wisdom. But before I go ahead with your question, I want to enjoin the good people of Bende and the APC family in Abia State in mourning the unfortunate death of one of our own who was alleged to have died in police custody 2 days ago. According to Wisdom. It's a very sad incident, and we are watching developments. You know, the Commissioner of Police in Abia State is a gentleman, and I know the DPO of the police station, another wonderful gentleman. So I'm appealing to bend the people to be calm at this moment. They don't need to be violent. We promise them that at the right time, justice must be done. They don't need to destroy any government property, but their grievances, the peaceful protests they have engaged in over the 48 hours is not out of place. We feel for them. I extend my condolences to the bereaved family. And we enjoin them that at this critical moment, we will not leave them behind. We will give every support that is needed to make sure that they get justice. But coming to your question, I feel great. I feel elated that the long agitation, overdue agitation for the creation of an additional state in the Southeast, by the grace of God, will come to fulfillment in our lifetime. And I feel especially honored that somebody I know very well, an embodiment of legislative prowess, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, is at the helm of affairs as the chairman of the House of Representative Committee on Constitutional Amendments at this critical time. Igbos are happy. Igbos are honored to have one of their own who have great wisdom in legislative experience champion this cause at this critical time. So it is a win-win for Igbo. And his
legislative understanding of parliamentary procedures and lobbying with his colleagues of Igbo instruction in the National Assembly, it's giving us the needed breakthrough this time. Like the Chief Press Secretary to the Deputy Speaker has said, it is not yet to hurry.
Before we get to that point, Honorable Chijioke Chukwu, you are a former lawmaker and you understand the nitty-gritty of, bills like this seeing the light of the day, which are going to walk us through pretty soon. But I want to understand, how close are we to this milestone? Is it a distance away? Are we very close? Is it in touching distance?
For now, the horse trading looks good, because for the motion to be moved by a northern senator of repute, Senator Abdul Ningi, and seconded by another distinguished member from the north, shows that they feel our pains. Other regions of the country are in tandem with the aspirations of Ndibo and the agitation for another state. And these things don't come easy. There must have been a lot of horse trading, not just by the Deputy Speaker, by the members of the National Assembly, both Senate and the House of Reps. All hands were on deck. But the major thing that is going for Ndibo now is that a distinguished son of the Igbo, in no less a person than Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, the Deputy Speaker, Federal Republic of Nigeria, is the chairman of the House Committee on Constitutional Amendment. So it's like it is in the kitchen cabinet of the National Assembly Constitutional Amendment Committee. So we have a lot of expectations, even though this bill will still go to 36 states House of Assembly for concurrence. But be rest assured that every other state of the country, the six geopolitical zones, feels the pulse of the Igbos. It's not about marginalization. It is about coming to the table with superior arguments. And our first 11 in the National Assembly are in for this superior argument. And that you can see in the seamless manner their colleagues supported the motion heavily moved by Senator Ningi. So I think I'm very, very optimistic that this time around the Southeast geopolitical zone will get an extra state that will guarantee equity, that will reduce agitation, and that will give us a greater sense of belonging.
When one begins to consider that it's not just the Southeast that are clamoring for an extra state, if you look at the number of persons or regions who are still calling for an extra state, it could raise a little bit of concern and worry, especially whether or not it is going to see the light of the day. But Honorable Chukwu, let's talk about the impact, the far-reaching impact this can have on this region of Nigeria. If at all this comes to fruition, how do you think it would solve the issue of marginalization or possibly help in boosting the socioeconomic state of this part of the country?
Yes, I am aware that there are about 55 proposals sent to the Joint Committee of the National Assembly on Constitutional Amendment for state creation. But there is greater understanding, greater feeling among all sections of the country that the Southeast deserves an extra state. If you recall that the six geopolitical zones all have 6 states, with the exception of the Northwest with 7 states. And so everybody is of the feeling and the belief that the cry for marginalization by the Igbos demands urgent remedy. And that is what we saw in the overwhelming support that proposal received from other senators of all parts of the country. But let me tell you, the basis of our revenue sharing formula is based on states and local governments. So the economic impact and the import of giving the Southeast one additional state cannot be
underestimated in terms of resource control, resource distribution, according to states and according to local governments. And you know that means one additional governor for the states, 3 additional for the southeast, 3 additional senators for the southeast, and each political impact down the political ladder distribution to local government, to councillors, and to members of the House of Assembly. So you cannot underestimate its economic and political benefit, the economic and political benefit of having one extra state in the southeast. It is very, very important. It will boost our economy and it will give us a greater voice in national issues.
Interesting. Now, let's talk about the generality of the role of your principal, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, as the Chairman, House Committee on Constitutional Amendment. How impressed are you as a Nigerian? I mean, looking at how they have handled this very sensitive position, one cannot overemphasize how sensitive this job they are doing is. I mean, more often than not, you hear people talk about the constitution on ground being that midwifed by the military, and we are now in a democratic dispensation. Constitution which is people-oriented should come to the fore. But looking at how your boss and those in his committee, including his counterparts from the Senate, have handled this very sensitive role, how impressed would you say you are?
Very impressed. One thing I know about Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu and most members of the National Assembly is that when you discuss with them one-on-one and in private, you will know that they are very passionate about the Nigeria project. None of them wants Nigeria to fail. None of them wants Nigerians to be treated as second-class citizens in the Community of Nations. So they have always had sleepless nights, made deep personal sacrifices to make sure that the Nigerian project succeeds. And for me, as a Bende man, and an Abia man, and as an Igbo man, and for most Igbos, for most Bende people, we feel highly elated. Benjamin Okezie Kalu has done us proud in the Committee of Nations, irrespective of the feelings of the people. No matter who is assessing him, in the person's subconscious and in the person's wisdom, they know that Benjamin Okezie Kalu is one Igbo man that every Igbo man is very, very proud of, just like most of them. I can mention also most of them that have passed through in the National Assembly and that are still in the National Assembly. It is one person that can be counted as one of the best among the boss. He has done us proud, and we are always happy to be associated with him. In fact, in the politics, he is the dependent address in the country now and in diaspora.
All right, let's come back to the state, Honorable Chukuna, and look at some of the developments in Abia State, beginning with a statement credited to the Abia Renaissance Group, alleging that there is a planned protest against the Deputy Speaker and the APC in the state. I don't know what you make of it, even though the Abia State government have come out to deny any of such in the offing, but what do you make of it?
You know, I'm a proud member of APC. And I know that before such an APC pro group will come out to make such deep allegations, they may have a backpack mechanism, intelligence that has warranted that statement. I have gone through the statements, and I'm equally apprehensive that if a sitting government that is in power in the state will resort to intimidation, will resort to cheap blackmail against a very honest statement made by the Deputy Speaker,
then that calls for concern. And you are aware that the governor has come out to say that anybody that is going to rig election in Abia State should write his will. He spoke like a god. Very unfortunate for a sitting governor to threaten his citizens, and who does not have his life in his hands. The power belongs to God. Life belongs to God. There are people who have spoken like the book like him, and they did not live to see the next election. All of us will live by the grace of God. But for the concern of APC Renaissance Group is something to be taken serious. And I enjoin the security agencies to be on red alert, because all you see from the followers, a faction of the Labour Party loyal to the governor, has been threat and intimidation. Listen, we in APC believe that politics is not a do or die affair. And let me tell you, for the governor to be very, very intolerant of the opposition is very, very unfortunate. Governor Nesoti taught us the use of vulgar words in opposition. We were in APC with him. He declared former Governor Keze Igbazu in unprintable names, called him criminals openly, and that is one thing you cannot take away from Governor Keze Igbazu. He was very, very tolerant of the opposition. That is one. And during his time, violent crimes was very, very, very low in Abia State. Two things. If you deny him every other thing, you cannot deny Keze Igbazu better security when he was governor. You cannot deny Governor Keze Igbazu tolerance of the opposition. But we have come to say, chief executive, he is very, very rational, very, very intolerant of the opposition, very, very critical of every statement made by the opposition. That is not politics. If he does not want for the people he is ruling to take a critical look at his policies and administration, then he should not bother contesting. Because once you come into public office, everything about you is public. You come into public scrutiny. And so you must be very, very tolerant and make responsible and responsive explanation to the questions asked by your citizens. So, for the position of the APC Renaissance Group, I don't think, for me, it's out of place. But it is left for us to determine the source of their intelligence, whether it is very, very credible or not. But looking from the position of the governor, I think they have cause to worry.
Just playing the devil's advocate, Honorable Chukwu, the governor himself has alleged a plan to pit him against the president, probably in bad light, square him up against the president, more like... I'm sure you have a clear understanding of what I'm saying. What do you make of that?
Well, I don't totally understand what you are trying to say, but I can make a little out of it. No responsible Abia man who want to deny Abians what should come to them from the federal government. Every Abia man that knows the politics of resource control and distribution, or every Nigerian, irrespective of his state, will want his state to align with the center, just like Enugu have done, just like so many other states. And so what we are doing, what we are saying is that Abians can get more by aligning with the center. And that is what we are saying. We cannot leave our state in the hands of the opposition. And an opposition that is one not tolerant of being taken on critical issues, the issues of transparency, the issues of resource distribution, the issue of financial recklessness that is going on in Abia State today. You know, when Governor Oti was less than 6 months in power, I came on your radio, you were the person that interviewed me, and I said, this government, the way I am seeing it, will score 0 on transparency. And it did not happen. Wisdom, you are the journalist. Can you, on a flip of hand, tell me how many kilometer roads have been done in Abia State and at how much? This is, we're already in fourth quarter. We have not seen the third quarter financial report to know how Abia resources is faring, how it's being spent. people has queried 56 billion naira disbursement for smart school construction. And we have seen schools that are not smart, if there is anyone that is smart yet. They are just trying to find a way of retiring that fund by hurriedly putting up one or two structures in one or two places, which goes far below of what they say they have spent. Go to Enugu State. Enugu has spent that 8 billion, far less than what they have spent. And you will see smart schools. Go to Enugu State. Go to Imo. In Enugu, you will see a conference center of 5,000 capacity. And you are in Abia, you are talking about 500 capacity, and you are writing up billions of naira. You don't expect people to ask questions. My brother, that is not politics. That is not administration. You don't expect all of us to keep silent. When we and Governor Oti was in APC, he took critical, critical reports of how Governor Igbazo was spending their resources, and he told us he will do better. What I has expected him to do is to be more transparent than Governor Igbazo. Is there anything anybody has said in Abia? Governor Oti did not say 1 million times when Igbazo was governor. Why are they angry? It's very unfortunate, please.
It's time to open the phone lines now and have you join the conversation. If you are tuning in, you may have missed a lot already. Ben Kalu'S Mandate, and I've been having a chat so far with a former minority leader, Abia State House of Assembly, who currently is a board member of the Northwest Development Commission, Honorable Chijuke Chukwu. When you're calling via these numbers, 0808-182-6949 or 0811-605-2949. You can equally leverage our post on Facebook. We are live on Facebook, where you can actually see what's happening in the studio, so you can drop a comment there, as well as send us a WhatsApp message, a voice note, a text message on 0906-501-8289. When you get through to us, try to be as civil as you can. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from, and then go ahead and share your civil thoughts with us. Good morning. Continue to try. 0808-182-6949 or 0811-605-2949. Good morning.
Good morning, Moses. Good morning, Wizzy.
Name and location, please.
Who the man knows his name? I'm calling from Omaya. Good morning to our guest. Is he with us?
You go ahead, please. Who say man knows him?
Okay. I want to thank him for his kind of choice, the choice of words he used, to describe what is happening. Hitting the polity in Abia State. That is what all of us are preaching for. Irrespective of the government of the day, they are trying their best, but most times I'm not happy the way they are dealing. Most times they're coming out to talk about issues or hitting out the polity as if that we are in war. This is in Igbo land, we call it in Dorondoro. You don't expect, if Transventure by the government of the day are expecting that nobody should come out or they won't have opposition, they may be playing. Because Ben Kalu is an Abian, likewise every other person, including you and I. We are from Abians. If Transventure, maybe all these allegations that they say that the former commissioner for information is trying to incite the federal government against the state, I don't know. And I was saying that if Transventure something happen, why wouldn't they take it to court? There was a time they strike 100 billion naira to one former commissioner for information. And now, but we were in this state here when the governor was in opposition. A lot of things he said. He said a lot of things. But the chance of what he's using today is not a good way to go. If Ben Kalu is coming, they shouldn't be jittering concerning what happens or what Ben Kalu is about to do. It's not like Fabians. Workers are still crying. In as much as the government is doing road infrastructure. But what Ben Kalu is
I appreciate your contribution. Thank you very much. On to the next one. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Muhammad. I'm calling from Uganda. My brother. Agitating for creating another state. Look at how our brothers doing the kind of call people in Lagos. So why don't we call people like this, all those who are for religion of Nnamdi Kanu? The agitating of creating another state is much important than releasing our brother. Okay, the five states we have, are they taking care of it? Look at our colleague Benje.
He's taking care of. He's presenting us. Him and everything. For 10 months now, we don't have light. We just only need transformer. We don't have road. The one he started from Kalu'S Mandate. He saw that started from Kalu'S Mandate. For over 3 years now, they have not finished that road. That one is by the way. We have not taken care of the 5 states you have. You try to add another one. Okay, let me come for somebody telling you how to.
Thank you for your contribution. We appreciate. Let's take another call. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, my brother.
Name and location, please.
My name is Al. I'm calling from Ohafia. Thank you. I want to react to my brother that I spoke with. We don't need 1 million states. What we need is releasing Nnamdi Kanu for us. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu for us is more than 1 billion states. That's the problem of the East. And nobody has spoken about it. I don't know why they are dodging from it. If you're a leader, you stand by the truth. Nnamdi Kanu is our problem, and that's a people problem. Solve that one before the critic of any state. Thank you, God bless you.
We appreciate your contribution. Let's try to accommodate one more call and a couple of comments on Facebook. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you. Name and location, please.
My name is Martin Meribi. I'm calling from Omar.
Go ahead.
Thank you for your program this morning. What I'm saying about more creation of state in Eastern region, it is not Southeast. It's not worth baking. That is marginalizing in Nigeria. Coming to the greatest ethnic group in Nigeria, the Igbos are the largest ethnic group, but they are given a slim state, unlike other states. Coming to the man that was analyzing about what is happening in other states, the way the government is handling issues. When they were in their own ruling time.
Thank you for your contribution. I think I'm going to be coming back to Honorable Chijioke Chukwu pretty soon so we can wrap up this conversation and call it a day. But let's try to acknowledge some of the comments on Facebook. Now, Kevin Oma is asking a question. He said, ask the man in the studio whether his boss is planning to... Okay, I would leave the rest of it. Ernest Bekay, additional state will enhance socio-economic development in the Southeast region. And Ikechukwu Sunday is saying, okay. Coming back to you, Honorable Chijioke Chukwu, let's wrap up. You've had the feelings of the people. Some of them are saying, yes, the creation of additional state is important. On the other hand, there is this dire need for the release of our brother who is in incarceration. That's what they've been saying. And I'm sure you have probably the adequate answer to that contribution. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. The issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an issue that has caused maybe 2 people and sleepless nights. For the deputy speaker, I know, is very, very passionate about his belief. Not an activist. The instrument of an activist is agitation and protest. Very different from the approach of the lobby. The lawmaker lobbies, the open, the protest of the instrument of lobby. And I will not tell you on radio or on social media what the deputy speaker is doing on a daily basis to ensure that he contributes to the peace of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But one thing I want to assure all Igbos, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not just an Igbo, it's a matter instruction. And for us, everything is a calculation. It is the calculation of each and every one of us. And so I want us to know that his incarceration didn't start with President Tinubu's administration. So there are a lot of things that is more than can please the eye. And I assure everybody that I feel bad every day is situation. I'm a Biafran at heart, just like most of us are Biafran at heart, but not Biafra of geographical location. So I want to assure everybody that the deputy speaker is deeply concerned, just like so many other lawmakers, not just of people interaction, but across the country. And we are praying, appealing, lobbying, and in due season, at one time, God will perfect His word over His life.
I think at this juncture,
for the issue of rights in some parts of the state, the major issue challenge facing electricity is the attitude of our people. Our people see vandalism of public utilities and government properties as a means of livelihood. And so we need to sensitize the people more that one electric pole you vandalize or one transformer can deny the entire local government lights for a very long time. So our attitude is very, very important. We need to sensitize our people more to tell them that what they do, thinking that they are trying to attack government, is indirectly attacking themselves and attacking their family members.
Okay.
We need to do more. The security agencies need to be on alert the more. And I know that some of these challenges are not what you can overcome in one day.
Okay.
They didn't just happen overnight. It's a systemic decay.
We have to go now, Honorable Chijioke Chukwu.
Thank you, Wisdom.
Let me sincerely appreciate you for being part of.
My pleasure to be with your station.
Thank you very much. That's the board member, Northwest Development Commission, and a former minority leader, Abia State House of Assembly. Thank you very much for speaking to us on Ben Kalu'S Mandate this morning.
Thank you, Wisdom. Thank you, Abians.
Let me equally appreciate you for utilizing our feedback platforms to reach out to us via the phone lines. It's still buzzing, but this is how far we can come. Equally recognizing those of you on Facebook that dropped your comment. We appreciate your contribution, and it excites us each time we come to the program, and we know you are willing to be part of it. I will not fail to appreciate my producer, Samson Eze, acknowledging the efforts of Chief Alvan Egono, including Stanko and his crew behind the visuals you are seeing on Facebook. I am Wisdom Thomas, stepping aside for our second major news bulletin of the day, Flow News at noon. Until we come your way, same station next time. Have an amazing Monday and continue to be a good citizen of this nation.
World, your channel. This is ABN TV, where the world is on your screen, bringing you news like you've never seen. From headlines to highlights, we are your guide. ABN TV. Let's take you for a ride. Your stories, your world, your channel. This is ABN TV, where the world is on your screen, bringing you news like you've never seen. From headlines to highlights, we are your guide. ABN TV. Let's